Welcome to another video. In this video, we are going to solve TryHackMe Bounty Hacker Beginner Room. So as you can see that I have opened the room here on my TryHackMe, you can just search for it. And it is a pretty, you can say, famous room, and 100,000 people are doing it at the moment. I have started the machine and I have received the target IP address. So I have powered up my Kali Linux on the other hand, and I am going to make a dedicated directory for Bounty Hacker room, as you saw that I made dedicated directories for the previous rooms as well. So I made a notes file and I am going to note down target IP inside that note file. Now I can cat it and I can see that the target IP appears there. So deploy the machine, we did that. Find open ports, we are simply going to use nmap with the IP address, the target IP address of the machine. So it can take like a minute or two. And I can see that port 21 is open, FTP, and port 22 is open as well, which is running SSH. And then there is of course port 80, which is the web page. So let's go and look what there is at the web page. So it's just, I think, a simple anime page. I have not seen this anime, but okay, it looks like a dialogues by Jed. Okay, Ed. These are the names. The names, they can mean something, but really, I don't think in this case. So, who wrote the task list? I really don't think any of those names belong here. No. Let's inspect the page. We can check if there are some hidden links, some comments here inside the code of the page, and I really can't see anything specific here. You see, as I hover my mouse over the code, it highlights which page of the code is constructed using that code. So we can use the tip, have you visited FTP? Okay, which means we can try to connect to FTP. So let's give it a go. FTP and the IP address, name. If there is no name, you can always try anonymous, and I guess it worked. List, we can see that there are two files inside FTP, logs.txt and task.txt. So I'm going to get both of them, get logs.txt and get task.txt. It means I want to download or like push these files into my system. So if I'm going to let me clear the terminal list, you can see that logs.txt appears here and task.txt as well. So let's take a look inside nodes.txt, which is of course our target IP. We made that file ourselves. Let's take a look into task.txt, and it says that protect vicious plan for red eye, and there is a name. It says Lin. So who wrote the task list? Lin. We just found it. Okay, what service can you brute force with the text file found? Okay, we found the name Lin, and there were some other names as well. And logs.txt, it sounds like it is a file with passwords or something like that, because that's what it indicates. And we investigated the names. We have names, several names already with us. So it is very, I think, very suitable if we try to brute force SSH. So let's see cat logs.txt, and as I expected, they definitely appear as passwords. Syndicate, dragon, and okay, dragon is used a lot, but that's not our concern. Yes, we are going to brute force SSH. What is the user's password? Now the system wants us to try brute force. You know, if I get a tip, it says hydra may be able to help, and hydra is a tool in Kali Linux which we use to brute force stuff. You know, it is not only for SSH. We can use a lot of things. So I created a txt file, and apparently I was going to put like all the names we found, but I'm just going to rely on Lin because I am like damn sure it is Lin, the user which we need to brute force. Now I'm going to like run the command sudo hydra and ssh. I'm going to put the address of the target IP address. I am indicating that I want to run hydra brute force onto this IP address. L means like the list of the users, name.txt, and p means password, and we can use logs.txt because password is going to be in that logs.txt file. And that's it. We just hit enter, and you can see that it very quickly discovered that the login is Lin and the password is Red Dragon Syndicate. Of course, it uses some numbers as well, and we were correct. The password was Red Dragon Syndicate. We can just SSH Lin. We can use simple SSH command to establish a remote connection using the credentials of the Lin, which we just find, which we just like discovered. Yes, I just copy pasted the password, and I'm going to put the password of Lin, which we just discovered here on the top, and we are inside the system as Lin. So list, there is a file called user.txt. I can cat it, and I can see the first flag is thm crime syndicate. So I'm just going to paste this in user.txt. Now to get the root txt, we generally have to run some kind of privilege escalation command. But let me try a cd. Okay, there is the file system. It's a typical Linux file system. And if I want to go to the root directory, it says permission denied. Why? Because I'm not root. So let's see what I can do as Lin. I have to use Lin password. Okay, I haven't noted it down. We can just copy it again from the TryHackMe. All right. So, okay, I can run the tar file or stuff here as root. So I don't need root password to run a tar file, a tar command, or you can say a situation. So let's do some research. I'm going to look GTFO tar. GTFO beans is like a very common site where we can find like hundreds of commands and exploits and stuff. And okay, we are inside the shell and we are going to run sudo. So you see here it says the sudo separator, and we discovered that we can run sudo command for Lin without the password. So we are going to put the sudo command, paste that tar command, and if I ask the system who am I, it says root. And you saw that I did who am I before, and it said we are Lin. Now we are root, which means officially we can access the root directory. So let's go there, cd root ls, and let's get the root file, root.txt. And there we go, that's the flag. We can just copy it and paste it. So this was a very simple and very like interesting room. TryHackMe teaches us stuff like step by step. We don't have to rush out anything. Just remember what we are doing in these simple rooms. We are going to use them in the more advanced rooms as well. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe.